Hello and welcome back to Lethe, or Lethe, however it's supposed to be pronounced, and I still don't know if it's a demo or the full game, so we'll continue figuring this out. So I'm probably gonna... You'll know when this all uploads and you watch it all, just by the title. So anyways, I guess he's not supposed to be here, Cameron. And don't remember your name. Even though we were with you the most of the time and you speak the most. I think, yeah, Jaden. Jaden, that's his name. Anyways, sadly you realized the fault in your plan. I swear to God, this is punishment or something. Can you just tell us what's his relationship with us? Despite his words, you were glad for Jaden's outburst. Do you know what's going on, Jaden? He rolled his eyes. Combined classes. First soccer. Oh. Suddenly it made more sense. Hey, stop chatting. Oh, the teacher. The teacher. The teacher began to raise his voice, silencing everyone as you stood around. Team leaders, Kate and Cameron. You were supposed to hear Cameron's name, but when you looked over to see the class giving him distance, you realized why. Pick your teams one at a time. Jaden. Oh, Jaden's on her team. You weren't surprised to hear Jaden be the first name chosen. Okay, I guess they're gonna fight each other, and I might be able to pick who. He was popular and fit, and they probably thought that meant he was good for teams, and they were right. You on the other hand... Gavin. Okay, never mind, I'll get picked. Took a moment to even process the words, and then stupidly pointed to yourself. Class turned to look at you, and Cameron remained still. Okay? Not entirely sure why you were chosen, but happy to not have been the last inevitable choice moved to his side. Looked at Kate's group as she and Cameron called more people forth, zoning out for the most part. Oh, zoning out for the most part, not zooting. What the hell kind of game is this? You heard Jane mutter to himself, and you frowned lightly. Of course, he always had something to say. Still, you were happy to have been chosen out of free will. Oh, okay. Now that you have your teams, Kate, make sure everyone in your group ties this around their waist. Oh, it's like football flag thing. Thing. I know what I'm talking about. It's like little flags they had to put around your waist during whose team you're on. I don't know if any of you guys had your school like that, but that's how my school did it. Understood. Suddenly the reality of the event set in. What the hell is this eerie screeching noise? What the heck? Hopefully nothing's broken. This was sport. You were going to play each other. Oh, it stopped. Oh yeah. Camera looked towards you and you looked away. Why? You had no idea if you'd be capable of even playing seriously. Your team split up positions until you were left as goalie. Oh. Cameron took the field before the goal, and you did your best not to focus on the nauseous bubbling up your throat. The game began, and you crouched awkwardly before deciding to just stand upright. You didn't know who you were trying to kid. You were in a way too much pain to bother. Yeah. It didn't take long at all before Jaden had the ball, and you watched in mild despair as he made a beeline toward you. He kicked. And you watched as the ball made an even more direct line for your face. You hoped at the least you could block the ball, and you braced for impact. That never came. It was a blow, and when you opened your eyes, Cameron had the ball in his hand a half meter away from you. You turned as though to ask if you were okay, and you felt your legs buckle. Oh, did we get hit in the face? The teacher listened to you explain your situation and sent you to get changed and sit in the homeroom until lunch. Half of you was ecstatic, and the other half felt lousy. You ruined the game for your team. You sat on the chair behind, laying across the table, and counted the seconds that passed. It was retribution, you muttered. And in this way, lunch came. You thought about spending lunch in the classroom or the hall, but neither appealed you, so we're going to go on the roof, I imagine. Anyway. There were too many people, and you didn't like the way they looked at you. The classroom was insane, and there was Jaden. Well, you thought there was no place to go. Except the rooftop. You stepped on the rooftop and shuffled over a few meters so that no one could easily spot you from the door. People rarely come onto the roof, mainly because of the sun and the wind. And the warning in the stairwell? Aw. Like this, you decided you'd spend your lunch. As you leaned back, you startled to attention. Stuck at speaking. You were startled to attention by the sound of someone else on the rooftop. Oh, Cameron. You're surprised when Cameron appeared. You're here? That's more of the kind of thing you want to ask him, but you were settled for silence and a nod. Feels kind of like you're following me. You meant it entirely as a joke, but Cameron didn't respond, which he doesn't respond to anything. Seriously, what is with him? And the hairs on the back of your neck rose. It's about sport. Not thinking about whether he really was following you, or if you needed to be afraid of being on the rooftop with them. Oh, okay. Thanks for that, the saving thing. I have no clue what was going on. I guess he saved us? After his brief response, you sat in silence. You weren't the kind of person to thrive on tension and conversation like Jim, but, well, the silence seemed uncomfortable. Before you had the chance to break it, however, Cameron had turned to you. Are you coming to the club this afternoon? We have club? Your mind reeled. Sewing club is on tomorrow, isn't it? Cameron stared unchanged, but you watched him shake his head. Homework club? Homework, what? You were sure you were in sewing club. It was one of the few things you were actually good at. But then the amount of papers in the room... By any chance would that make me fill out a lot of paper? Cameron now looked at you a little strangely, and you felt your face heat up. Words are complicated, man. Words. Just found a lot of papers in the room I'm in that I don't remember. You have some of my notes too. Oh, sorry that I forgot. There was only one real answer to your confusion about switching clubs anyway. Same reason you didn't remember the papers. Amnesia. Oh, okay. Not your fault. The wind picked up and you took a breath, trying to figure out if you were more shaken over the exertion of your body or mind. Maybe both. And why on earth had you changed to study club anyway? You weren't big on studying. You had never been big on studying. Sewing, on the other hand, was something you thoroughly enjoyed. Well, now that I think about it, I'll probably go for today. There had been enough excitement for your tired body and mind for today. Hopefully the nurse would be agreeable. Look after yourself. You nod as you made to leave, the hairs on your back of your neck prickling. Was it just your imagination, or were his eyes following your every movement? The scrutiny made your palms sweat, and you did your best to forget about it as you moved forward. Oh my God! Stop speaking. The nurse acquiesced. I suck at speaking, if you haven't noticed. Don't know why, I just am. With your plea to leave school early. You weren't sure how to feel about Cameron after today. I mean, the music playing in the background is making everything creepy for some reason. He seemed so worried about you, but at the same time, something was off. You decided to just do your best to relax. Resting off your headache with water, painkillers was the best you could do. And like that, time passed. Oh, okay. We're on day 2. I wonder if we have to go through all 30 days. Welcome home. Skipped out on school, huh? Well, yeah, it seems I'm not up to it. Geez, you really do what you want. You saw his laugh, but didn't feel like humoring him. I'm going to my room now. Call me for dinner. That's all he cares about. Oh, the curtains are open. Okay. He took steps toward the desk now. There was one way to make absolute certainty of whether Cameron was lying, and you began to search through the sheet after sheet. There were even data, and you felt almost out of body looking at papers covered with your writing, which you couldn't remember having written. Paused 3/4 of the way through the piles to remove a sheet of paper that looked very different. The writing was neat, well presented, and clear. Everything made sense. There was no wasted space, and even reading over them once, you felt like you learned a lot. In a way, you thought you would know this was Cameron's, even if the handwriting hadn't given it away. You laid the notes on the desk and then sat on the bed. There was no way to remember under what conditions you'd borrowed them in. Thinking about it, you didn't want to be responsible for them. It would be better if you returned them after all. Your mind lulled itself as you reached your conclusion. Jane would be bothering you for dinner soon. Looking at time, you decided to get working on it sooner rather than later. Cooking has never taken much effort for you. Any struggle was worth it when the food turned out better for it. You knew the satisfaction from eating good food far outweighed any negatives behind cooking it. Jaden, dinner. You called for Jaden, who appeared distracted. Oh. He was preoccupied with his phone, and you watched as he took the food and continued. And you wondered if he knew anything about you changing clubs. He was the closest person to you. After a great deal of silence, he took a breath. We could bug him. I don't know. Because there's a lot of questions I would like to know what the hell's going on. Because I'm just as confused as our character. Asked Jaden about sewing club? Hey, Jaden. He barely raised his head to make a noise you couldn't discern. Screen. You didn't know if he was really listening, but you pressed on. Do you know anything about me changing clubs? Silence reigned in you as you waited for some kind of response. After none seemed to present itself, you took a breath. You do you. Your breath caught as your mind raced to comprehend what you meant. What do you mean? I thought you would know what's going on since you're the closest to me. We've been living together and everything. I mean, I brought back all those notes. You ought to at least know about those, right? The next silence was punctuated by Jane's phone hitting the table. I don't fucking know what's been going through your mind the last few weeks. Stop gripping to me, just deal with it. Okay? Maybe I shouldn't have bothered asking him. You shrunk back, confused and upset by his outburst. It wasn't as if you'd meant to throw your feelings onto him. But if anyone didn't know what had been going through your mind, it was you. I'm going to my room. You left your plate on the table. Whether there was a mess or not didn't interest you. Right now, you wanted to be alone. Maybe I should have not said anything. I'll remember that next time. Even in the dark, you were drawn to Cameron's notes. With your mind the way it was, you found yourself reading over them without reason. It calmed you, and like that, you fell asleep. Okay. So... what? So there's more memories lost than I actually remembered, I guess. You wake up groggy, upset, and turning to school, you are better able to work past your pains. The majority of the day passes without event. You visit the teacher's room, inform them of your situation, and receive both sympathies, page, notes, revision, school stuff. School stuff. I don't know. At lunch, you climb to the roof, half hoping Cameron would be there to receive his notes. You return to the next class with them still in hand. Read over the notes once more, 3 more times. Wonder how you even meant to get in contact with them. The rest of the day passes, and while you congratulate yourself for making it through the day, you still wonder. In the end, your best chance of finding them is by simply wandering around school. Probably. I walked to the halls, wondering if it would be impossible to find Cameron this way. As you walked, your mind idled around the mystery of the sewing club. If you came that way, would it be worth asking someone if they knew why you left? You shook your head to yourself and sighed. Would they even know? Wouldn't it be embarrassing to go back to the club you left? Thoughts clouded your mind, and before you knew it, you'd reached the end of the halls. You found Karen, but were near enough to the sewing club to check it out. Idly, your legs carried you forward until you were standing a short distance from the club room. Sure whether you should bother popping into the sewing club so late to ask something embarrassing, you made to turn around. Go to sewing club? I don't know. Take a breath. You decided that you would regret not going now. I mean, I don't see what the problem would be. You're disappointed with the day as a whole so far. I mean, as you walked into the room, it felt like the very air froze. Faces turned toward you in mild confusion and disgust. Any conversation had been dropped, and you never felt more like an intruder in the remaining silence. Why? Unwilling to run away with your tail between your legs this far into your mission, you clear your throat. You know it doesn't do much for the embarrassment that had already spread across your cheeks, but you hoped they wouldn't notice. Is there someone who would happen to know more about why I left this club? Lapsing into silence every few words, you noticed a few of the members walking off to continue their business. No one cares, okay. A few others, however, stayed and stared toward you. There was a static in the air, and you made to ask your question again. One of them, my lips are drying. Before one of the remaining members snickered. Left? You think you left the club? Don't you remember being kicked out? Oh. Why did we get kicked out? Did your best to maintain your composure as her accusation struck you. Having the nerve to show your face again is so humiliating. Come now, you shouldn't be so cruel to him. Don't you know what happens? There was more snickering from the people before you. And even as you looked around the room, there was no alternative offered to you. Kicked out? What do you mean? Breaking the school rules isn't something you should be so absent-minded about, or is forgotten the reason you brought the lighter in the first place. The girl laughed as though she couldn't hold back, and you felt a desperate pain spreading through your chest. I wonder if breaking the rules has something to do with the party then. Or maybe it involved being thrown off a building? I still remember Jaden asking for you to be let off easy. It's only his first offense. Just look at his record. Jaden? Your legs trembled, but you couldn't move. It was as though you were held in place by some terrible spell. It's grounds for suspension or expulsion, but all you got was a slap on the back of your hand. Temporary leave. Ineligibility for recreational activity. I bet you would bring it to burn as a graze, or light up some fags on the school roof. You never know what his type. Always acting so timid and kind with the delinquent pretty boy next to you. Do you really think you want to get caught? What the hell did we do? Pretty boy Jaden? There's no way. No extracurriculars for you, just study, study, study. You don't even deserve that. Weren't you meant to fallen off a roof anyway? Why are you still here? Guess you can't stand yourself either. Shouldn't you be dead already? And like that you ran. You don't know where to or why you had to run. But it was the only thing you could do. Your breath pained you. This has seriously gone to straight up very quickly into some sort of mystery visual novel. Because why did we get kicked out? What exactly did we do? Shocks ran up both legs, and a wetness crept down your cheeks. You didn't remember. Didn't remember a thing. The pain was intense, a sharp burning not only in your muscles but in your chest. You can't tell the difference between the heartache and the lack of breath. And when you paused, you began to off. What if you did it to yourself? I mean, that is a possibility, but why did the other person fall off and die? What the reason the other student died? No? What? No? You can't imagine being the one to stand there, or to take your life. But what crazy shit have you forgotten? Lighters? As oxygen began to circulate your body once more, your thoughts turned to the apartment. Jaden had something to do with this. You knew he had to have something to do with this. All that talk about him trying to get off easy, and he said he knew nothing. Yo, you took your time getting back today. Did you get lost? I asked you. My lips and my throat are getting really dry from doing non-stop talking. So, you knew your face was red from a combination of humiliation and anger. I asked you about the sewing club. You avoided the conversation. You knew what happened. Why the hell did you go digging around? You're making things complicated. I can't believe what you were hearing. Why the hell did I go digging around? That's the best you had to say after you humiliated me? How did I humiliate you? I didn't do anything wrong here. You did. You could barely contain your fury. Things carried on this way. You knew you were going to cry again. It's your fault, I know it is. How about you tell me exactly what you know, and I'll tell you how much of it is my fault, huh? Even Jaden was angry, and the tense situation called for more of your wrath. Let's start with the fact that I was found carrying a lighter? How did that happen, Jaden? I don't even own a lighter. You, however, have thousands. You could see he was trying to rein in his anger, but you didn't bother following suit. Hey, now, you couldn't even remember half of the shit in your own room. Now go fucking pinning this on me. I think a couple of sheets of papers are a little different to bringing a fucking contraband item to school. Well, you agreed to take the heat for that. As a matter of fact, don't give me that shit. There's no way. You fucking agreed. There's no way I'd just plant a lighter on you and then come plead for you. So, it was true. He did play. Do you think the teachers would even believe that if you even so much as said it wasn't yours? You haven't thought of it that way. But I got kicked out of Song Club, and you didn't even have the decency to tell me why when I asked. How do you think it would have worked out any better than this way anyway? Well, I don't know, maybe I would have gone to the club and been told secondhand by some people who wanted. You feel the tears pricking at your eyes now. Who said I deserved it, that I should be dead? Oh, he's pissed. Who the fuck said that? You know the anger wasn't directed toward you now. Yep. But your humiliation was still fresh in your mind. This is your fault. Tell me who said that to you. I'm going to my room. Do not try and come in. Find your own dinner tonight. Ooh, that's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Oh, but where's Cameron in all this? What does he have to do with anything? The solace of your room calmed you somewhat. It wasn't enough to calm the rapid beating of your heart, or the tears that had begun to lap at the edge of your eyelids. With even the low amount that had happened today, you were worn out entirely. What was James' problem anyway, keeping secrets? You plopped onto the bed, looking into your hands. What if he had knew the night of the party, and decided not to tell you? Would snooping even be enough to find out the truth? You were sick of the hole in your memories, sick of the nasty discoveries. It's only been 2 days! You're sick of being awake, and so it didn't take long to lure you into clutches of sleep. You idly hoped that you would remember something in your dreams and then ignore it. You had enough disappointments lately. You stretched widely and blinked as though your eyes had been glued together. Oh, I just realized they don't do the loading. Interesting. The events of yesterday came back to you, and you sighed. There was no point remaining angry, even though you'd been hurt. You were living with Jaden, so there was no avoiding. Stretching as you stood up, it only took minutes to prepare yourself for another school day. As we go through the process of... I might tell you your first appointment is this morning. Oh. Okay. He froze and then stared at Jaden as he blinked lazily. What? The doctor thing just... Get to the hospital by 9:30 and tell them what you know. They'll sort it out. Jaden really wasn't chatty this morning. Well, it didn't seem like there was much else to do, and you certainly didn't mind missing a little school. With a little time wasted, you planned the route toward the hospital and back. The ride toward the hospital was long and unbelievably boring. And I'm getting very tired of speaking nonstop. You found your mind grasping at straws to stay awake. They have straws on the train? Okay. When it was finally your stop, you'd never been more grateful. As you paced forward, you idly wondered if the fatigue you'd been feeling was a side effect of your conditions. The hospital staff was welcoming, though slightly taken aback by your lack of preparation. You were assured you'd be tended as soon as possible. Not even 10 minutes later, a familiar face led you. Oh, it's her again. Back to a familiar room, and you stood awkwardly as Mark pat down the sheets of a bed and faced you. Glad to see you're in one piece. Are you feeling any better? Adjusting well? I mean, we found out some things that aren't so great. I mean, if that helps. The nurse seemed so upbeat that your confusion felt almost like an unwanted storm. Well, I'm so if you're asking about my memory, it's not rushing back. Of course not. It'll take time and persistence. What did he mean by persistence? You really got to work on what you can remember and what people tell you. without being able to connect the two. Who knows if you're getting the full story. Oh. So I think we did the right thing of snooping around. Yes, maybe. You felt as though the concept was something you had already grasped, but was still comforted to you to hear it. The longer you thought about it, the more you wondered. Did this man know anything about that night? Something more than what people were telling you. Do you know more of the night's full story than me? The nurse took a moment before he replied. Is there a specific topic you'd like me to expand on? Now your mind began to wonder. Wonder if Jane had something to do with you being at the party or falling. Maybe you knew what really happened and just never told you. It wouldn't surprise you. But at the same time, you wonder why Cameron was even worried about you. From what you know, he was only in the homework club with you. Was he at the party? Did he know what happened? Did the nurse know what happened? Your mind spun, but you had to pick one. Oh, and we pick one. Oh, okay. What do you know about Jaden? What do you know about Cameron? And what do you know about the guy who died? Something tells me if there's endings, there's probably 3 different endings. Because Jaden is getting to the point where he's just as mysterious as Cameron. I don't know. Let's ask about Cameron. Nurse paused again and smiled. He's not much for talking, I'll tell you that. You nod in return, all too familiar with the silence. Now, the nurse seemed to be thinking heavily before he spoke. The police seemed pretty interested in him, and I heard a rumor, well, my guess is that he's probably hiding something big. What do you mean, something big? Something dangerous? Nurse took another moment before shaking his head again. I think you'll find there's much more to be learned by watching him interact than trying to talk to him. Not that that sounds easy. Not that makes much sense either. Looks can be deceiving, as can first impressions. He paused, then grinned. Even if they were made twice. He attempted to smile at his humor, and then took a shaky breath. Well, okay, I'll keep that in mind. There was a sudden beeping which took you by surprise. The nurse only took a look at a small device in his pocket before returning to his usual demeanor. That looks like time. The doctor will be here shortly. Wait. Sorry, but I have to go. Well then. And she's back. Dr. Queen. Ah, Kevin, it's nice to see you're faring well. Silently, you wondered if everyone had expected something terrible to happen. Have you been feeling dizzy since the fall? Experienced anything out of the ordinary? I mean, didn't we faint during soccer? Actually, I've been really tired. Even making it through a day at school drains me. Is that normal? The doctor took a moment to sort her papers before she nodded. Fatigue and general aches and pains are things that you'll have to deal with until your body has regained its health. She waited a second as if letting you catch up. Unless there seems to be something abnormal, you can take a general painkiller to ease the aches. And of course, if there are any particular agonizing headaches, please let me know. You nod at once, letting your head bob as your muscles relaxed. Thinking back to the conversation you had moments ago with Mark, you took a breath. Did you meet Jaden or Cameron? The doctor nodded, but didn't seem very receptive. Would you have happened to know anything about them? About night guy came in? Maybe? She got me off. I apologize, but I don't make exchange with any apart from my patients. No, you don't need to apologize. I understand. So you lurked out with the nurse after all. The doctor finally let her notes fall to her sides. Have you begun to recall anything? No, nothing. Well, no. And how are you adjusting to your day life? I mean, like, figuring some shit out. I mean, sound terrible. I wouldn't say there's much else than the house to adjust to. It doesn't really feel like school has progressed so far. The doctor seemed to smile for only a second. Well, I can only hope that you will recover your memories. Take good care of your body in the meantime. A healthy mind comes from a healthy body. Sounded more like she was quoting a page than giving you advice, but you nodded regardless. Has Mark been here? Didn't she see him leave moments before she entered? Yeah, just before. I'll email him the details. Do you know when your next appointment is? Not a clue. You're on a reel to keep up. No I don't. Jane told me about this one. I did ask him to. Your next appointment will be the of... What? Your next appointment will be the blank of this month. Didn't she say she didn't make exchanges with anyone apart from her patients? Saying forward, you absorb what you could of the doctor's words. Was she lying, or did that count as something for you? Maybe she didn't want anything to do with that night. You can decide. It seemed as though there was no end to it all. We don't even know the day for the next point. Okay. Before you knew it, you were on your way to school. There was no new medicines for you to take, no therapy to try. It was checkup. Half of what was grateful for the break from school, and the other half was fixated on two enigmas you had at hand. Jaden and Cameron. The former was particularly chaos integrated, and Cameron... It was already lunchtime. Having run up the last floor, you held onto the handle and took a breath. If Cameron even be here, what was the chances anyways? It seemed more like he would find you rather than you ever finding him. But you had to take your chance. Hey, he's here! And also, I'm recording a little too long. So, because I want to know more of what's going on, so these videos may be a little bit extended than my usual. Slightly. Like maybe 5 or 10 more minutes than usual. But if there's a bit more, then it'll be added to this video, and sometimes things will probably be cut out and you won't even know. So, again, I don't know if this is a demo, so I'm gonna keep playing to find out. Other than that, if you guys like the video, got the like and upvote button. If you want to see more of what the hell's going on with this game, go with the subscribe or follow button, because these are going to come out pretty quickly, I think. If you guys got anything to say, especially if maybe your guys' theories on what's going to happen, and what the hell happened beforehand with our character, say so in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next videos. Comrades.
Ooh.